Hello my friends, I'm Duchess and welcome to my YouTube channel. Are you thinking, hoping, or dreaming of creating your own webtoon? If so, then this video is for you, and if not, then I'm not sure what you're doing here, but maybe you'll find this video interesting, so keep watching. Today I will be listing the 5 skills that I think you should have and continue developing in order to make a webtoon. This topic was a requested topic. Please feel free to comment down below if you would like to know more or if you'd like me to make a video about something related to art or webtoons. Let's get started. Skill number 1 is having a decent understanding of anatomy. Anatomy is complicated, and it does take some time to learn. Even now, I'm not the best at anatomy and I'm still learning every day because how do you draw hands and feet and dynamic poses? But from observation and research, I've noticed that readers don't really mind if the anatomy of your drawings aren't 100% accurate. You don't need to be a pro at drawing the human body, but you should be able to understand the basics of it. Like, at least put the body parts in the right place where they belong. I'd say that the most bothersome traits that I've seen in drawings, including my own, are when necks are too long or when the heads don't include the cranium. Like the head is just too small on the back side, like there's no brain or something. No offense to anyone who does this unintentionally or not. I mean, I used to draw people with really long necks intentionally, so, but anyway, these 2 anatomical drawing errors seem to bother people the most, so I would definitely recommend spending some time to hone in on your understanding of anatomy. Skill number 2 is coloring. Now, I'm not saying you need to understand color theory or anything because that's a whole other level of complicated. I've watched so many videos on color theory and I still don't quite understand the concept of it, but I will one day. What I do mean is that you need to be able to create a decent color palette when you're coloring your drawings. You have to be able to choose colors that go well together or complement each other. I remember when I was first starting out, I didn't know how to choose colors at all, and my drawings were all very dull and my characters looked kind of dead. I also didn't pay attention to how well the colors looked together, so my drawings were not attractive at all. Color catches people's and readers' attention, and that's something that you want to try to improve on or focus on. It's like when you see an artist's Instagram page, if the colors are pleasing to your eyes and the drawings are nice, then you'll probably follow them. But if the colors are all over the place and they clash with each other, it might not be as appealing to you. Before I started focusing more on the colors I used, I literally had no traction with my webtoon and I wasn't growing at all. Like, I think I was stuck at maybe 20-30 subscribers for a while. After I took a hiatus and improved on my art skills a bit, I began to gain more followers and subscribers. So take the time to choose your color palette whenever you draw. Skill number 3 is drawing facial expressions. I think that reading webtoons with very dynamic facial expressions make the webtoon more memorable and exciting to read. A way to make readers invested in your story emotionally is only possible if your drawings are able to portray their emotions properly. It'd be strange if someone died and the main character's expression doesn't quite show a grieving expression. I've seen some art where the characters are very stoic. I don't remember where I've seen it, but the expressions just didn't evoke much emotion from me, and I'm a very emotional person, so that kind of means something. No matter what is happening in the story, if the characters do not express a relevant emotion, then it just doesn't work because the characters are just too stiff. You literally feel what the character feels, so this is a skill that I think new creators should have. Skill number 4 is good storytelling. You don't have to be Rick Riordan, Stephen King, or J.K. Rowling, okay? But you do need to be able to write a good story because that's what webtoon is all about. If you have a webtoon that has amazing art but a poorly built story versus a webtoon with decent art and a great storyline, the latter webtoon will probably be more successful. Making a webtoon is honestly more writing than anything else. When I first started, I expected that I'd be drawing all day and night. But no, I've spent more time writing than I've drawn. Creating a webtoon takes a lot of research, revising, editing, and thinking. You have to be able to create a story that is worth reading. Something that catches people's attention and keeps them invested in your story. You have to be able to write characters who are relatable, likable, and realistic, okay? A 7-foot-tall man with bulging muscles and an 8-pack who is extremely intelligent, handsome, and kind is not realistic, okay? It's a dream. Unless you know someone like that, then that's amazing, but it's not exactly realistic. Like all the other skills I have mentioned so far, you don't have to perfect them before you start your webtoon. They're just skills that I think you should have and work on before and going into creating a webtoon. You will grow and develop along the way, so you don't need to wait for your skills to be perfected or you'll never get anything done. To hone your writing skills, I'd say that you just need to spend a decent amount of time working on your storyline, on your character designs, make sure you know what events you want to take place in the story, and how to make it flow smoothly. Like I said, you don't need to be an award-winning author, but you at least need to have a storyline that makes sense and is appealing to an audience. Last but not least, skill number 5, consistency and determination. This is the most important skill you need to focus on before and going into creating a webtoon. Why? Because you can't just make a webtoon on a whim and then go on a hiatus for a year and then come back expecting readers to still be invested in the story. I've actually read webtoons like this on Canvas before. I'd subscribed to them because I liked the story and the art, but then they disappeared, like flat out just disappeared off the face of the planet. And then I forgot their existence, and then a year later I got a webtoon notification that they uploaded an episode. At that point, I'm not even interested in the webtoon anymore because I've totally forgotten what it was about, and there are other webtoons that I'm invested in. No offense to those webtoon Canvas creators. I understand if you're going through some things or if there's some kind of problem, but then you tell your reader something like, hey, I'm going on a hiatus for however long. Thank you for following along until now, and I hope you will continue to stick around until I get back, and something like that. At least readers know that you're coming back, and they'll probably just wait for you since you asked them so nicely. Anyway, you need to make sure that you are determined to create your webtoon, and you need to make sure that you're going to be consistent. As a webtoon creator myself, I often have moments when I feel unmotivated and I think to myself, no one's really interested, so maybe I should just quit. Plus, making a webtoon requires so much work and time that you can easily get discouraged when your webtoon doesn't go anywhere. That's when you take a breather, read some nice comments, or get some moral support. Now, if you're not supported by anyone, I'm sorry that you're not. But that's when you should think about your story and your desire to create. How much do you want to share your story with the world? It's really up to you. For the hardworking part, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. As I've said before in this video and other videos, making a webtoon actually requires a lot of work. You can't procrastinate and say, oh, I'll just upload that next week. It goes hand in hand with consistency. Good things come to those who work hard because all good things are never easily earned. It's a fact. Before we end this video, I just wanted to say that I'm still new at this stuff, but I hope that I was able to give you some good advice. Don't take everything too seriously and don't try to perfect your skills before creating your webtoon. You'll improve as you learn throughout your webtoon journey, just like everyone else, so don't stress out too much and have fun with it. That is all I have for you guys this week. If you enjoyed this week's video or learned something new, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get notified. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next week.